Warning.
This show contains mature content. Listener discretion is advised.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
One angry New York City Puerto Rican decided to start a radio show, determined to piss the world off by shoving a mirror in front of society's face. He kicked them in the balls.
What are you? Who are you?
This is the Crotch Shot Radio Show. Crotch Shot Radio Show.
This is not a test. This is a broadcast transmission.
We're going to stay on the air.
And now, the Whippy.
Now we're waiting for the live stream coverage to start from the ABC News podcast, from the ABC News YouTube page. So, damn. Okay,
that.
So we got. Okay, what? Can you tell me what you could see? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this is all trial and error. This is the first time I'm actually live streaming shit.
I see our Skype screen.
Skype screen?
Yeah.
All right, Goodness, it's supposed to start at 9:00.
Well, it's 9:03, so they're not on time. Go figure the Democrats not to start anything on time.
Of course. Well, while we're doing that, I'm gonna shoot out the links, so that way.
I'm also. Are you talking about shooting it to our network or everybody?
Everybody.
Everybody. Okay.
Everybody. I'm going on the Telegram.
All right.
Live Democrat coverage at facebook.com. What the fuck?
It's starting.
Oh, okay.
That's what that is. Once you post that, I'll just redistribute real quick to everybody.
Okay, facebook.com/Louis B Comedy. Oops.
Your voters a false sense of what?
House and gloat about what's going on when you have so many people that are having trouble affording college and having trouble affording their premiums. So I do get concerned about paying for college for rich kids. I do. But I think my plan is a good one. And my plan would be to, first of all, make community college free and make sure that everyone else besides
the 13th grade, okay,
gets help with their education. My own dad and my sister got their first degrees with community college. There's many paths to success, as well as certifications. Secondly, I'd use Pell Grants. I double them from $6,000 to $20,000 a year and expand it to the number of families that get covered, to families that make up to $100,000. And then the third thing I would do is make it easier for students to pay off their student loans. Because I can tell you this, if billionaires can pay off their yachts, students should be able to pay off their student loans.
How's that? Wait a minute. Wait, what?
What the fuck is, what? Okay, so you've got the fake Mexican right here. And she's now asking the fake Mexican his opinion.
Want a marginal individual tax rate of 70% on the very highest earners, those making more than $10 million a year. Would you support that? And if not, what would your top individual rate be?
The top individual rate is manufacturing guns for the lower class.
And right now we know that it isn't. And it's going to take all of us coming together to make sure.
Yes, we're going to come together.
Necesitamos incluir
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, God. There he goes with this fucking fake Mexican shit.
Oh, I am so fucking.
Necesitamos incluir cada persona.
And tú eres un pendejo sucio, cabrón. Oh, that accent.
La representación y cada voz necesitamos escuchar. Right now, we have a system that favors those who can pay for access.
That was so
outcomes.
fucking douchey.
That's how you explain an economy that is rigged to corporations and to the very wealthiest. A $2 trillion
O'Rourke is not a Spanish last name.
On record piles
No.
of cash. And
He is. It has literally been proven that he has no Hispanic heritage
A
whatsoever.
new democracy that is revived because we returned power to the people. No PACs, no
Necesito una recuerdas
voter
para los
registration, bringing in
mierdas
more
para
voters,
mi
and
boca.
a new Voting Rights Act to get rid of the
Necesito
barriers in
recibo
place now.
una.
That's how we each have a voice in our democracy and make this economy work for everyone.
Yeah, but you're not using your voice, motherfucker.
This dude needs to
God
fucking
damn it.
breathe.
God damn it. No, seriously? Seriously? If there was ever a fucking case for cultural appropriation, it's this disrespectful faggot.
At the same rate
Right.
you tax ordinary income, take that corporate tax rate up to 28%, you would generate the revenues you need to pay for the programs we're talking about.
That's time. Thank you.
70% tax. You're gonna tax
28%.
You're going to
tax
right now about the role of
Jesus
corporations, as you know. Senator Warren, in particular, put out a plan to break up tech companies
Oh,
like
and
Facebook, Amazon,
Cory
and Google.
Booker is a male
You said we
molester
should
that
not,
molests
quote, be
males
running
with his
around
fingers.
pointing at companies
Just saying.
and breaking them up without any kind
Well,
of
you know,
process.
sometimes you gotta molest a
Why do
male.
you disagree?
I don't think I disagree. I think we have a serious problem in our country with corporate consolidation. And you see the evidence of that in how dignity is being stripped from labor. And we have people that work full-time jobs. and
I
still
bet
can't
dignity was
afford a
stripped
living
from that
wage.
dude's
We
asshole
see that
too.
because
Yeah, it
consumer
was.
prices are being raised by pharmaceutical companies that often have monopolistic holds on drugs.
Whatever,
And
Spartacus.
you see that by just the fact that this
big
is
words.
actually an economy that's hurting small businesses and not allowing them to compete.
And
One of the most aggressive bills in
anti-establishmentarianism.
the Senate to deal with corporate consolidation is mine about corporate consolidation in the ag sector.
They hate
So I feel
business. They
very
really just
strongly
hate
about
business.
the need to check
really
the
do.
corporate consolidation,
Like they don't
let
go
the free
after the
market
right
work. And I'll tell you this,
businesses, but
I
they
live
hate
in
the little guy.
low-income black and brown community. I see every single day.
Yeah, that's why
that this
Newark
economy
is such a
not
safe
working
city
for
when he
average
ran it.
Americans. The indicators that are being used from GDP to Wall Street's rankings is not helping people in my community.
I gotta get
It is
something
about
to
time that we have
drink.
An economy that works for everybody. Not
I
just
feel
the
retarded
wealthiest in our
listening to
nation.
this guy.
Quickly, Senator Booker, you did say that you didn't think it was right to name names, to name companies and single them out, as Senator Warren has briefly. Why is that?
Well, again, I will single out companies like Halliburton or Amazon that pay nothing in taxes and our need to change that. And when it comes to
The company
antitrust
that
law, what I will
supposedly
do is,
employs me
number
is
one, appoint
KBR, which
judges
is
that
a
will
subsidiary of
enforce.
Halliburton.
Have a DOJ
Ask
and a
Antifa.
Federal
Apparently,
Trade
they know.
Commission that will go through the processes necessary to check this kind of corporate concentration. At the end of the day, we have too much of a problem with corporate power growing. We see that with everything from Citizens United and the way they're trying to influence Washington. It's about time that we have a president that fights for the people in this country
That's time,
who
sir.
need to have someone that's a champion for them.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Warren, I mentioned you. Are you picking winners and losers?
So the way I understand this is there is way too much consolidation now in giant industries in this country. That hurts workers, it hurts small businesses, it hurts independent
care about no
farmers,
small
it
business.
hurts our economy overall, and it helps constrict real innovation in this economy. Now look, we've had the laws out there for a long time to be able to fight back. What's been missing is courage. Courage in Washington to take on the giants. That's
She had
part
courage
of
when
the
she was drinking that
corruption in
beer.
this system. It has been far
She
too
likes
long
beer.
that the
Beer is good.
monopolies have been making the campaign contributions, have been funding the super PACs, have been out there making sure that their influence is heard and felt in every single decision that gets made in Washington. Where I want to start this is I want to return government to the people, and that means calling out the names of the monopolists and saying I have the courage to go after them.
Thank you.
Secretary Castro, the next question is for you. Democrats have been talking about the pay gap for decades. What would you do to ensure that women are paid fairly in this country?
Thank you very much for that
I will
question,
fuck 'em.
Lester. You know,
I will tell them to become prostitutes.
With a mother who raised my brother Joaquin and me as a single parent.
Joaquin.
And I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to rent a home and to worry about whether you're going to be able to pay the rent at the first of the month. And to see a mom work very, very hard and know that moms across this country are getting paid less simply because they're women. I would do several things, starting with something we should have done a long time ago, which is to pass the Equal Rights Amendment.
Who is this guy?
I never heard of him. Just another spick. Tell you the truth.
I'm like legitimately confused as to how he's even in politics.
You know, we have to do this.
I never heard of him.
Prosperous nation in the 21st century.
But if he speaks Spanish, I'm going to drink this whole mug of soda in one
The
sitting.
same question to Congresswoman Gabbard. Your thoughts on equal pay?
Well, first of all, let's recognize the situation we're in, that the American people deserve a president who will put your interests ahead of the rich and powerful.
Not
That's
even
not what
fucking
we
10
have right
minutes
now.
into it, and she has to bring up the
I enlisted in
fucking
Army
president.
National Guard after the Al-Qaeda terror attacks on 9/11, so I could go after those who had attacked us on that day. I still serve as a major, served over 16 years, deployed twice to the Middle East, and in Congress served on the Foreign Affairs and Armed Services Committees for over 6 years. I know the importance of our national security, as well as the terribly high cost of war. And for too long, our leaders have failed us, taking us from one regime change war to the next, leading us into a new Cold War and arms race, costing us trillions of our hard-earned taxpayer dollars and countless lives. This insanity
she's
must
boring.
end. As president, I will take your hard-earned taxpayer dollars and instead invest those dollars into serving your needs, things like health care, a green economy, good-paying jobs, protecting our environment, and so much more.
There you go.
Mayor,
Now we got a full screen.
Yeah. Okay. Boom.
you're the mayor of the biggest city in the United States, but it's also one of the cities in the country with the greatest gap between the wealthy and the poor. How would you address income inequality?
Well, we've been addressing income inequality in New York City by raising wages, by raising benefits, by putting money back in the hands of working people, $15 minimum wage, paid sick days, pre-K for all, things that are making a huge difference in working
It really
people's
isn't.
lives.
It
But let me
really
tell you
isn't.
what we're hearing here already in the first
New York has
round of
gotten
questions
worse. New York is
is that
almost
now for the
fucking
heart
as
and
bad as
soul
San
of
Francisco.
our party, I want to make it clear.
The Bowery
This is
in my
supposed to be the
that's
party of
close to my
working people.
neighborhood
Yes, we're supposed
is
to be for
becoming like
70%
Skid Row,
tax rate on the
except
wealthy.
there's no
Yes,
tents
we're
because the
supposed to be
cops
for free
will beat the
college,
shit out of
free
people still.
public college for our young
Yeah, but
people.
he thinks
We
he's
are
a good mayor.
supposed to break
Yeah,
up
well,
big
you know,
corporations when they're not
we
serving
got
our
men who
democracy.
think that they're women,
This
so you know
Democratic
what the
Party
fuck.
has to be
He
strong
identifies
and
as a
bold
good
and
politician.
progressive. And in New York, we've proven
He's a
that we can
trans
do something very
politician.
different. We can put
He's a
money
trans
back in the hands of
statesman.
working
There you
people.
go.
And let me tell you, every time you talk about investing in people and their communities, you hear folks say there's not enough money. What I say to them every single time is there's plenty of money in this world. There's plenty of money in this country. It's just in the wrong hands. We Democrats have to fix that.
Congressman Delaney, do you agree?
I think we need to do real things to help American workers and the American people, right? This is
Who
the
the
issue
fuck
that
is
all of
this
us here on
guy?
the campaign trail. We need to make sure everyone has a living wage. And I've called for a doubling of the earned income tax credit, raising the minimum wage, and creating paid family leave. That will create a situation
Didn't Trump propose that?
have a living wage. That gets right to work.
Not too
Then we
positive.
got to fix our public education system. It's not delivering the results our kids needs, nor is college and post-high school career and technical training programs doing that. You know, I'm very different than everyone else here on the stage. Prior to being in Congress, I was an entrepreneur. I started 2 businesses. I created thousands
Why is he a
of jobs.
Democrat then?
I spent my whole career
Yeah, exactly.
helping small to mid-sized businesses all over the country. 5,000 of them I supported. The Obama administration gave me an award for lending to disadvantaged communities. I know how to create jobs.
I
We need
got a
short-term
reward for
strategy,
giving
which is
black
put
people
money
a
in the
bone.
pockets of workers with the earned income tax credit, raising the minimum wage, and created paid family leave. And then we need to have a long-term strategy to make sure this country is competitive, and we're creating jobs everywhere in this country.
Governor Inslee, how would you address income inequality?
Well, I'm a little bit surprised. I think plans are great, but I'm a governor, and we got to realize the people who brought us the weekend unions are going to bring us a long overdue raise in America. And I'm proud
because the union that I'm a part of does jack shit, but freaking increase the fucking union dues. They don't do shit.
It's not right that the CEO of McDonald's makes
Unions are communist in nature. They were formed by local commie groups in the 60s to provide better working wages for people, but they had backing from the American Communist Party.
Donald Trump is simply wrong. He says wind turbines cause cancer. We know they cause jobs. And we know that we can put millions of people to work in the clean energy jobs of the future.
Yeah, but they don't produce enough fucking electricity.
Machinists, we're doing it in my state today. And then we can do what America always does. Lead the world and invent the future and put people to work. That's what we're going to do.
See, this is the problem with Democrats is they fucking hone in on the president so hard that they've lost absolute context to what an actual debate is. So they're using him as a literal scapegoat to say, okay, I don't have any firm policies, but I'm going to tell you what should vaguely be done because Trump or Orange Man bad and Blue Group good.
You know what? And at that point, just say, fuck it, good. Good. Go ahead. Keep focusing on the president and then fucking implode yourselves.
All they're doing is they're actually building up a base for the president.
That have to unbolt
so keep doing your job, monkeys.
Floor, put it in a box and ship it to China. My area where I come from in Northeast Ohio, this issue we're talking about here, it's been going on 40 years. This is not a new phenomenon in the United States of America. The bottom 60% haven't seen a raise since 1980. Meanwhile, the top 1% control 90% of the wealth. We need an industrial policy saying we're going to dominate building electric vehicles. There's going to be 30 million made in the next 10 years. I want half of them made in the United States. I want to dominate the solar industry and manufacture those here in the United States.
Senator Warren, are they coming back? Are these jobs coming back?
So we've had an industrial policy in the United States for decades now, and it's basically been let giant corporations do whatever they want to do.
Word?
Giant corporations have exactly one loyalty, and that is to profits. And if they can save a nickel by moving a job to Mexico or to Asia or to
Canada,
save a
what?
They're going to do it. So here's
save
what
a job.
For an industrial policy.
Okay.
We need to save a job.
There's going to be a worldwide need for green technology, ways to clean up the air, ways to clean up the water.
You didn't get the bit. Okay.
And we can be the ones to provide
I was
that.
reposting our link everywhere.
In our research and development on green energy going forward. And then we need to say any corporation can come and use that research. They can make all kinds of products from it. But they have
so
to
tell me, why do you guys shit on Elon Musk so much? Maybe because he stopped pandering to your bullshit?
Sell it around the world. There's a $23 trillion market coming.
Word, leave Tony Stark alone.
Products. We should be the leaders and the owners, and we should have that 1.2 million manufacturing jobs here in America. We can do this.
All right, we're going to turn to the issue of health care right now.
Wait. I'm just going to interrupt here. Isn't that Trump that's bringing manufacturing jobs to the United States?
Yes, over 5,000 more.
So she's basically saying, I'm going to bring manufacturing jobs back, which is basically what he's already done.
Senator Klobuchar, let me put the question to you. You're one of the Democrats who wants to keep private insurance in addition to a government health care plan. Why is an incremental approach, in your view, better than a sweeping overhaul?
Well, I think it's a bold approach. It's something that Barack Obama wanted to do when we were working on the Affordable Care Act, and that is a public option. I am just simply concerned about
Barack Obama and Donald Trump are the new 9/11.
Insurance in 4 years.
Who the fuck is she?
So let me go on.
Some bitch,
that.
I don't know.
There's a much bigger issue in addition to that, and that is pharmaceuticals. The president literally went on TV on Fox and said that people's heads would spin when they see how much he would bring down pharmaceutical prices. Instead, 2,500 drugs have gone up in double digits.
Oh, you mean the same way fucking the premium, the Obamacare premiums went up?
The pharma companies. For the rest of us, for the rest of America,
oh, Democrats are so stupid. It's funny.
All foam and no beer. We got nothing out of it.
They just love beer. They love beer.
They really do.
Beer's good. to allow negotiation under Medicare to bring in less expensive drugs from other countries. And Pharma thinks they own Washington. Well, they don't own me.
Beer, we know phone.
Hey, Big Pharma does Big Pharma owns Washington, but they don't own me.
Everybody on Medicare and then eliminate private plans that offer similar coverage. Is that the plan or path that you would pursue as
Hey, have you noticed that there's only one brown guy on stage?
Yeah.
And no, there's two. Sorry.
Castro is brownish.
And one of the number one reasons is the cost of health care, medical bills. And that's not just for people
And
who don't have
Corey
insurance.
barely counts.
It's for people who have insurance.
He barely counts as a mulatto.
Business model of
He's
insurance
gay, so
companies.
he's not going to
It's to
count.
bring in as many dollars as they can in
At least not in Jamaica.
pay out
That
as
body
few dollars
man.
as possible for your
Body man
healthcare.
bad. He's
That
body
leaves
man.
families with
Bomba
rising
clot.
premiums,
He's bomb clot.
rising co-pays, and
Actually, that
fighting
reminds
with
me of a
insurance
cartoon that I'm
companies to try to
developing
get
called
the
Bomba
healthcare
Tots.
that their doctors say that they and their children
We're
need.
talking about tits?
Medicare for
Bomba
all
Tots.
solves that problem.
It's
And
about
I
baby
understand.
Rastafarians.
There are a lot of politicians who say, "Oh,
Bomba
it's just not
Tots.
possible. We just can't do it." It's have a lot of political reasons for
Yeah.
this. What they're really telling you is they just won't fight for it. Well, healthcare is a basic human right, and I will fight for.
In the
basic
words,
human
in the
rights.
words of Congressman Ron Paul, he says when you say something is a right, you have to steal from someone else in order to pay for it.
My goal is to ensure that every American is
Ron Paul was a
well
great
enough
man.
to live to their full potential.
He's still alive.
Because they have health care.
I'm saying
In Laredo,
he's what he
Texas, I
was
met
because
a
he's
young
no
man,
longer a
27 years
politician.
old, told me that he'd been to a doctor once.
Can
in his
you blame
life,
him?
And on that visit,
No.
he was told he had diabetes, he was told he had glaucoma, and he was told untreated because he doesn't have health care, he'll be dead before the age of 40. So getting to guaranteed, high-quality, universal health care as quickly and surely as possible has to be our goal. The ability to
I don't know who
afford your
Shirley
prescriptions
is.
and go to a primary care provider. The ability to see a mental health care provider. in
Oh,
Texas,
she's that bitch from the
single
Westboro
largest
Baptist Church
provider
that
of mental health care
carries a
services
sign
is the
that says
county
God
jail
hates
system
fags.
today. And healthcare also has to mean that every woman can make her own decisions about her own body and has access to the care that makes that possible. Our plan says that if you're uninsured, we enroll you in Medicare. If you're insufficiently insured, you can't afford your premiums, we enroll you in Medicare. But if you're a member of a union that negotiated for a health care plan that you like because it works for
Tell you the truth,
and your
I'm in the
family, you're
union,
able to keep it. We
and my
preserve
fucking
choice
health
by making
insurance
sure that
sucks
everybody
dick.
has
Time is up, Congressman, but I do want to ask a follow-up on this one. Just to be very clear, I'll give you 10 seconds.
I mean,
Would you replace
it's a point of
No, I
service,
think the choice
and it's
is
damn right. It's a
fundamental.
fucking POS.
Private insurance is not working for tens of millions of Americans. When you talk about the co-pays, the deductibles, the premiums, the out-of-pocket expenses, it's not working.
That's right.
So you know that it's actually cheaper to just pay for your bill up front than it is to actually use insurance.
Really?
Yeah. So I take my daughter to the doctor and I pay cash. You know, we go and get her shots every year and her annual checkup and everything. It costs me $240. If I were to do that through insurance, it would actually cost me like $1,500 to $2,000.
We should give everyone in this country health care as a basic human right for free. Full stop. But we should also give them the option to buy private insurance. Why do we have to stand for taking away something from people? And also, it's bad policy. If you go to every hospital in this country and you ask them one question, which is how would it have been for you last year if every one of your bills were paid at the Medicare rate? Every single hospital administrator said they would close. And the Medicare for All bill requires payments to stay at current Medicare rates. So to some extent, we're basically supporting a bill.
Yeah, but how do you prevent when the fucking prices rise? When the cost of supplies goes up?
The IBEW gave him.
Like, how do you prevent that? In order for that to
They
work,
don't understand economics. That's the
like
problem.
that's the only way it works is if like the price of gas goes down or stays at a certain level. If the price of living stays at a certain level.
I think we're
Right.
talking about this in the wrong way. You're talking about one bill over another bill. Really what we're talking about is our objective, making sure that every single sick American in this country is able to get the health care that they need.
Yeah, but you know what?
I believe Medicare
You
for
got
all
people
is
that
the way
like
to
look.
do that.
Unfortunately,
I also
look.
think
I'm a
that employers
diabetic.
will recognize
I
how much
am
money
busting my ass to try to get myself healthy because it costs me more money to fucking buy medicine to keep myself alive. I'm trying to get myself on a fucking diet and an exercise program so that way I can get myself healthy, so that way I'm no longer a fucking burden to society. But the thing is, but these people don't want to make people take responsibility. The only reason why I'm taking responsibility is because I don't want to fucking die.
We also don't want to be a burden on our own people.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to be a burden on my family that will probably have to bury me. Look, Patrice O'Neal, freaking John Candy, what's his name? I mean, it was drugs, but his weight didn't help much. Chris Farley. I don't want to end up like them.
African Americans have a lower life expectancy because of poorer health care. And so where I stand is very clear. Health care is not just a human right, it should be an American
No, but you know what? How's about you unleash certain technologies that would make certain medical techniques obsolete? We have certain technologies that around the world that would be fucking cheap, but they're suppressed in order to keep these especially the cancer industrial complex going.
While Medicare's overhead is only at
I'm pretty sure there's a cure for diabetes. They're holding it down because it will kill the fucking insulin industry.
Until we get to my goal, which is
It
every
would.
American having health care.
I want to move back if I can.
Like, it would be better just release those technologies to get people actually cured of certain things.
$23 billion in profits.
Tell you what, you start curing people to the fact that they don't need constant health care, constant maintenance every month. The price of fucking medicine will go down dramatically.
Industry that wants our healthcare system
Right.
to stay
Like,
the way it
how's
is.
about we talk
Because
about
it's
real
not working for
real
families, but it
solutions?
sure is heck working for them.
Like, doing this podcast, we were busting our ass to try to start streaming on YouTube. It was too hard. We needed to get this stream going immediately. And I said the simplest solution is usually the best. That's a saying. So look, streaming on Facebook was the simple solution for me to screen share this.
And I'm the only candidate.
Like, instead of talking about how we're gonna pay for it, how's about we fucking like what Trump did, the right to try.
And we got to have access for
I
everyone.
want to hear these people ask about fucking the Project Veritas and fucking censorship of conservative opinions.
They're not gonna do it. This is NBC. They're not gonna do it. Woo! Kill our babies! Woo!
Yay! Let's virtue signal harder than Antifa.
The idea I put out there, the public government was just talking about, this idea is that you use Medicare or Medicaid without any insurance companies involved. You could do it either way. And the estimates are 13 million people would see a reduction in their premiums. 12 more million people would get covered. So I think it is a beginning, and the way you start and the way you move to universal health.
Anyways, if you guys want to chat, we got the chat room open.
This one is for you. All of you on stage support a woman's right to an abortion. You all support some version of a government health care option. Would your plan cover abortion, Mr. Secretary?
Yes, it would. I don't believe only in reproductive freedom. I believe in reproductive justice.
Oh, Julian Castro.
And, what that means is that just because a woman, or let's also not forget someone in the trans community,
oh, fuck you.
a trans female,
stop the virtue signaling.
They shouldn't have the right.
Dude,
to
they're virtue signaling so fucking hard.
Yeah,
I mean, the fucking Robert O'Rourke fucking gave me douche chills with the fucking talking in the Spanish with the heavy English accent.
It's Robert. What's funny is it's Robert Francis O'Rourke.
Robert Francis. I don't know a fucking Francis in my family. Well, a female Francis. There's no male Francises in my family.
To one where everybody can get and exercise that right.
Senator Warren, would you put limits on any limits on abortion?
Francis.
I would make certain that every woman has access to the full
vacuum.
range of reproductive health care services, and that includes.
Why don't we
birth
just
control,
give women a
includes
fucking
abortion,
vacuum for their
it
cunts?
includes everything.
Here, suck out your own baby.
I want to
Yep.
add on that. It's not enough for us to expect the courts
All right,
to protect us.
go back to whoring.
7 years ago, Roe versus Wade was decided.
Oh, but what about rape victim? Oh yeah, the Roe versus Wade, where Roe said that she was lied to, that she lied.
Has come
Yep.
right up to the edge of taking away
Your
protection.
time is up, Senator.
We now have
Cunt.
an America where most people
Shut the fuck up.
support Roe versus Wade. We need to make
Honestly, if
that
it was
federal
me,
law.
like Senator, I said, shut the fuck up.
Senator Booker, I want to kind of come back on the discussion we were having about health and the opioid crisis. You represent a state where 14 of the 28 largest pharmaceutical companies.
All right, we got 3 people watching the
Should
stream.
pharmaceutical companies that manufacture these drugs be held criminally liable for what they do?
They should absolutely be held criminally liable because they are liable and responsible. This is one of the reasons why, well before I was running for president, I said I would not take contributions from pharma companies, not take contributions from corporate PACs or pharma executives, because they are part of this problem. And this opioid addiction in our country, we in cities like mine have been seeing how we've tried to arrest our way out of addiction for too long. It is time that we have a national urgency to deal with this problem and make the solutions that are working to actually be the law of our land and make the pharmaceutical companies that are responsible help to pay for that.
Congressman O'Rourke, how would you deal?
Tonight in this country, you have 2.3 million of our fellow Americans behind bars. It's the largest prison population on the face of the planet. Many are there for nonviolent drug crimes, including possession of marijuana.
Okay, I could agree with that.
Half the states have legalized it or decriminalized it. And yet, despite what Purdue Pharma has done, their connection to the opioid crisis and the overdose deaths that we're seeing throughout this country, they've been able to act with complete impunity and pay no consequences, not a single night in jail. Unless there's accountability and justice, this crisis will continue. In my administration, we will hold them to account. We will make sure that they
Help the Crowd Shout Radio Show grow and thrive by doing something you already do. Shop on Amazon. Amazon always has great deals for whatever you are looking for. From survivalists and riot gear to beanie babies. Next time you're going to shop at Amazon, use my link. The prices stay the same, but I get credit for the sale. Just go to tinyurl.com/LouisB and just shop normally, knowing that you're helping support the Crowd Shout Radio Show. That's tinyurl.com/LouisB.
Sorry about that. Facebook knocked out our stream, so we went on a quick break. This is the rest of the debate, so enjoy. And I didn't even start recording yet. Fuck me. All right.
Yeah, I just stopped recording because between us talking and they're talking, it would be so convoluted on the podcast.
Okay, we're back on live.
We want to turn to an issue that has been in the news, especially this week. There are undocumented children being held alone in detention, even as close as Homestead, Florida, right here, less than 30 miles from where we are tonight. Fathers and mothers and children are dying while trying to enter the United States of America. We
Not
saw
my
that
problem.
image today, it broke our hearts, and they had names. Oscar Martinez and his 23-month-old daughter Valeria died trying to cross the river to ask for asylum in this country. Last month, more than 130,000.
Their parents should be arrested in Mexico for child neglect.
Secretary Castro, if you were president today, what would you specifically do?
Thank you very much.
I'm
very proud that in April I became the first candidate to put forward a comprehensive immigration plan. And we saw those images. Watching that image of Oscar and his daughter Valeria is heartbreaking. It should also piss us all off. If I were president today, and it should spur us to action. If I were president today,
okay, well, build the wall and that shit won't happen.
Trump's zero tolerance policy, the Remain in Mexico policy, and the metering policy. This metering policy is basically what prompted Oscar and Valeria to make that risky swim across the river. They have been playing games with people who are coming and trying to seek asylum at our ports of entry. Oscar and Valeria went to a port of entry, and then they were denied the ability to make an asylum claim. So they got frustrated, and they tried to cross the river.
How's that fucking problem?
Why not make a fucking? Why not actually go through the legal immigration process rather than trying to make an asylum claim? Why are we granting asylum? These people coming in from Mexico are not fleeing a war-torn region to where we have to absolutely take them in because they're fucking, they're completely destitute and in danger. No, these people have homes, they have families, they have family members with jobs. All of these motherfucking people have the ability to fucking live decent lives in their own country, but no, they're fucking, their parents and their fucking family brainwash them. Oh, we could get more opportunity in the United States. Total fucking bullshit, because when they come here, they're constantly dodging the law because they decided that they weren't going to go through the legal process.
On day one, I will make sure that, number one, we end the ICE policies and the customs and border policies that are violating.
Oh, so basically, let's not protect our borders.
Not leave their human rights at the border.
Let's violate our nation's sovereignty by letting foreign insurgents into the country.
That we reinstate pathways to citizenship for DACA recipients and to make sure that people that are here on temporary protected
correct me if I'm
status
wrong. Didn't Trump say let's try to make the process easier?
Yes.
For people to come in here legally?
Yep.
Why, honestly, why are we allowing people to sneak in? That'll be like me, someone breaking into my house and trying to get into my house and getting pissed off with me and suing me because I locked my door.
Well, that is exactly what the Democrats are pushing.
If I might, very briefly, and this is an important point, my plan, and I'm glad to see that Senator Booker, Senator Warren, and Governor Inslee agree with me on this. My plan also includes getting rid of Section 1325 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, to go back to the way we used to treat this when somebody comes across the border, not to criminalize desperation, to treat that as a civil violation. And here's why it's important. We see all of this horrendous family separation.
Horrendous.
They use that law, Section 1325, to justify under the law separating little children from their families. And so I want to challenge every single candidate on this stage to support the repeal of Section 1325.
30 seconds. As my friend here said, I agree with him on that issue, but folks should understand that the separation of children from families doesn't just go on at our border. It happens in our communities as ICE are ripping away parents from their American children.
I'm going to send you a link of Americans actually living in Mexico and how well they live in Mexico.
Oh, really?
And this will just go to show your viewers that these people who fucking make this excuse that life in Mexico is so terrible, that it's complete bullshit. Everything we're being fed is literally to subvert the America's sovereignty and continue with the destruction of America.
And look, this motherfucker is talking. Bill de Blasio, which everyone in New York fucking hates him. He lost the confidence of the police officers here. And the fact that New York City is a sanctuary city has been a danger to people here. Oh,
right.
This is a video.
Yeah, just watch it later.
I mean, I truly believe if New York City wasn't so lenient on illegal immigrants and getting people out that have overstayed their welcome, Junior Hernandez would still be alive. And for those of you,
there's a lot of people that would still be alive if it weren't for the fact that there were illegal immigrants in this country that haven't been prosecuted.
I mean, Junior Hernandez, Junior, what's his name?
¿Qué haría usted en el primer día si usted es presidente sobre esta realidad que está ocurriendo? What would you do?
At least his Spanish is better.
Day one at the White House.
How about we don't speak Spanish because this is fucking America?
He can't speak Spanish.
We would not turn back Valeria and her father, Oscar. We would accept them into this country and follow our own.
Oh, I'm sorry, Junior Guzman. If New York wasn't a fucking sanctuary city, Junior Guzman would still be alive. And for those of you who don't know who Junior Guzman was, last year he was a 15-year-old boy that was stabbed up by a Dominican gang because they mistook him for a rival gang member. So you had 19 guys in their 20s, early 20s, came at a 15-year-old unarmed boy in the Bronx and killed him.
And what happened? And what happened to those Dominicans?
Actually, no, they just been convicted. But if they weren't here to begin with, I mean, because look, there are videos out there, especially in the Bronx. The Dominicans here, they act like fucking animals. There was videos of them cursing out the cops. They have no respect. I mean, this is why I say a joke on stage. Josh, how do you get Dominicans out of your country?
And then separate them. Some of us on this
I don't know.
have called.
Tell them that their 12-year-old girlfriend is pregnant.
Some, like Congressman O'Rourke, have not. And I want to challenge all of the
so
candidates to do that.
Yeah, but it's based in truth.
I just think it's a mistake, Bethel. I think it's a mistake. And I think that if you truly want to change the system, then we got to repeal that section. If not, then it might as well be the same policy.
Let me respond to this very briefly. Actually, as a member of Congress, I helped to introduce legislation that would ensure that we don't criminalize those who are seeking asylum and refuge in this country. If you're fleeing desperation, then I want to make sure that you're treated with respect.
I'm still talking about everybody else.
But you're looking at just one small part of this. I'm talking about a comprehensive.
How you doing, Alexandra? Welcome to the live stream.
That's actually not true. I'm talking about laws. I'm talking about millions of folks. A lot of folks that are coming are not seeking asylum. A lot of them are undocumented immigrants, right? And you said recently that the reason you didn't want to repeal Section 1325 was because you were concerned about human trafficking and drug trafficking. But let me tell you what. Section 18, Title 18 of the U.S. Code, Title 21, and Title 22 already cover human trafficking and drug trafficking. I think that you should do your homework on this issue. If you did your homework on this issue, you would know that we should repeal this section.
This is an issue that we should and could be talking
Clown
about for a long
world.
time, and we will for a long time.
Can we talk about the conditions as to why people are coming here?
I am enjoying seeing them attack each other. I actually would prefer to see this happen in an octagon.
Yeah. They should do a battle royale on a freaking island,
like WWE style.
No, like the Japanese movie battle royale.
Oh yeah, with the spiked bats and all that shit.
Yeah.
No longer have it be a crime to illegally cross the border. Do you support that? Do you think it should be a civil offense only?
If she says yes, she's a fucking traitor.
Potentially incentivizing people to come here.
Immigrants, they do not diminish America. They are America. And I am happy
that didn't answer the question.
But I do think
she totally dodged it because she would be destroyed by the right if she did.
Allow you to go after people who are violating the law. What I really think we need to step back and talk about is the economic imperative here. And that is that 70 of our Fortune 500 companies are headed up by people that came from other countries. 25% of our U.S. Nobel laureates were born in other countries. We have a situation right now where we need workers in our fields and in our factories. We need them to start small businesses. We need their ideas.
Then come here legally.
Has literally gone backwards. At a time
then work with the president to make it easier.
And so my proposal is to look at that 2013 bill that passed the Senate with Republican support, to upgrade that bill, to make it as good as possible and get it done. It brings the debt down by $158 billion. It gives a path to citizenship for people who can become citizens. And it would be so much better.
Yeah, but why let them break the law first? That's like fucking rewarding a fucking thief for stealing your wallet. Like, okay, well, it's wrong that you knocked over that old lady, but here's $20.
There are other provisions in the law.
Yeah, let's just give everybody money for doing the worst things possible.
Yeah,
and drugs and other things. That's already established in the law.
Oh well, it's bad that you raped that girl, but here's a woman that you could fuck anytime you want.
Who got killed?
Wait, what?
And the issues here, the way these kids are being treated. If you go to Guantanamo Bay, there are
they
terrorists.
keep doing the think about the kids shit.
They get better health
the
care
children.
than
What about the children?
United States. That needs to stop. And I think the president should immediately ask doctors.
I keep watching the stream just in case it freaking goes down again.
Kids. What kind of country are we running here where we
I
have a
wouldn't be
president of the
surprised if
United
it does.
States who's so focused on hate?
Don't worry. If it keeps going down, I'm just going to keep redoing it. And then I'll just piece together all the fucking videos and throw it up on BitChute.
With 3-week-old diapers that haven't been changed. We've got to tell this president that is not a sign of strength, Mr. President. That is a sign of weakness.
Senator Booker, I'll go to you.
You know what? How's about we stop blaming the president for policies that were started under the Clintons?
What will you do with the fact
Oh, shit.
you will
Like,
have
fuck,
families here?
man.
There's been a lot of talk about what you'll do in the first 100 days, about legislation. What will you actually do with these families? How will you care for them? Will they be?
I'll molest the young boys.
Well, this is a related and brief
And their
point
fathers.
because
And their
what we're
fathers.
talking about, what Secretary
I'm going to
Kessler
finger
talking
pop
about
dudes in the
is we
butt.
have the power to better deal with this problem through the civil process.
And then
the
I'll
criminal
stick it on my
process.
nose and
I have
sniff it like a
been
fine
to
cigar.
Some of the largest private prisons, which are repugnant to me, that
Beans.
incarceration and their immigration lockups. Our country has made so many mistakes by criminalizing things, whether it's immigration, whether it's mental illness, whether it's addiction. We know that this is not the way to deal with problems.
Fuck my
There is a
life.
humane way that affirms human rights and human dignity and actually solves
You know what's
this
funny is you can
Some
see on
countries
these
and
people
solve this
face
problem.
every single one of them. You can see like you know what's funny is when you can look at somebody and tell they don't have good intentions and they've got evil in their hearts. That's every Democrat on
Make sure we
stage.
use our resources to provide health care, to affirm
Like
the
they-
values and human dignity of the people that come
They're
here.
so
Because we
like they're
cannot
intellectual
sacrifice our
masturbating
values,
right now.
our ideals as a nation for
This is
border
an
security.
intellectual circle jerk going on. It's like, oh, let's promise some shit that's gonna fuck it up, but fuck up everybody. But fucking what you call it? Make people feel good when they hear it. This is political ASMR.
Pending their hearings,
Exactly
and
what
they
it
should
is.
have a hearing, and the law should be followed. That's what should happen, and we should do what we're doing in Washington State.
God,
I'm proud that we've passed a law that prevents local law enforcement from being turned into mini ICE agents. I'm proud to have been the first governor to stand up against Donald Trump's heinous Muslim ban. I'm proud to be a person who...
It wasn't a Muslim ban, and plus it was a fucking ban that was in place under Obama, for fuck's sake.
So that they can realize their dreams. These are some of the most inspirational people in our state.
Like they didn't fucking bitch about this when Obama was in office. I mean, this is
the other day.
Stop it! Stop
He
it!
thought it was a threat to tell me that he would send refugees.
These
in
people are
Washington State if we
crazy. That's
passed
all
the
I
law
gotta
that
say.
passed. And I told him that's not a threat at all. We welcome refugees into our state.
Okay.
We recognize diversity as a strength. This
You can
is how
have
we
it.
built America. That tradition is going to continue if I'm president.
I wonder if that little boy that was thrown off the balcony in the Mall of America, his parents think that immigrants are a strength.
We're going to talk about Iran right now because we're working against the clock. Tankers have been attacked. A U.S. drone has been shot down. There have been disturbing threats issued by both the U.S. and Iran.
Who's the war hawk? Who's the war hawk?
For a moment to put aside how you think we may have gotten here. But
Josh,
what
who's
I
the
wanna
war
know
hawk?
Is how do you dial it back?
I am
So
gonna
a show of
say
hands, who is president would sign on to the
the
2015 nuclear deal as
it's
it was
probably
originally
going to end up being either
Senator Booker,
Julian or fucking
Wait.
the guy from Washington.
Out of that deal. And one of the reasons why we're seeing this hostility now is because Donald Trump is marching us to a far more
Oh, good,
dangerous
good.
situation.
They keep fucking bringing them up. They're only just making people more fed up with the fact that Democrats are retarded.
Breakout 10, 20 years. And now we see Iran threatening to go further, and we're being pulled in further and further into this crisis. We need to renegotiate and get back into a deal, but I'm not going to have a primary platform to say unilaterally I'm going to rejoin that deal, because when I'm president of the United States, I'm going to do the best I can to secure this country and that region and make sure that if I have an opportunity to leverage a better deal, I'm going to do it.
All right, Senator Klobuchar, I'd like you to answer that question because you said you would negotiate yourself back into the Iranian agreement. Can you argue that nuclear pact, as it was ratified, was a good deal?
Yes, it was.
It was imperfect, but it was a good deal for that moment. I would
How?
work to
How?
get longer
They weren't fucking honoring their part of the agreement.
The point is, Donald Donald Trump told us when he got out of it that he was going to give us a better deal. Those
You
were
want
his
to
words.
play a
And now we
drinking
are a
game?
month
Yeah.
away from the
Well,
agreement.
I don't drink alcohol, but okay.
Well, I'm just saying, is like, this would be an awesome drinking game. Like every Democrat debate, every time they mention Donald Trump, you take a shot.
Drink.
So what I would do
Okay.
is negotiate
I'm just gonna go
a faster
drink.
agreement, is stand with our allies
You're
and
gonna get
not
fucked
give
up.
unlimited leverage to China and Russia, which is what he has done. And then finally, I would make sure that if there is any possibility of a conflict, and we're having this debate in Congress right now, that he comes to Congress for an authorization of military force. I would do that. And this president is literally every single day 10 minutes away from going to war, one tweet away from going to war, and I don't think we should conduct foreign policy.
Twitter is going to be the sole reason as to why we go to war with Iran, because we're only one tweet away from going to war with Iran.
Look, this motherfucker told me I look like fucking Kim Kardashian's hairy ass.
This dude over here told me I drive like shit.
What the
time we go and bomb their country?
We are going to fuck them bitches up.
Have led us
Fuck
to the
them
brink.
Ora, we're coming through.
Served in the
Allah
Akbar.
war in 2005.
Inshallah,
A war
brother.
that took over
Salah,
4,000.
Allah Akbar, I swear to Allah, if I catch this motherfucker on my block.
American people need to understand that this
I
war
swear
with
to
Iran
you,
would
brother.
be
I swear
far
to
more
you, if I catch him
devastating,
on my foot,
far more
I am
costly than
got
anything
him
that we ever
hit.
saw in Iraq.
I am going to do drive-by on my magic carpet.
And it wouldn't be just contained within Iran. Why it's so important that every one of us.
What he said? He says I wear my sneakers are fake.
We need to get back in.
These are the new Yeezys.
Hey, I'm gonna play a little sound clip for you.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna enjoy it because this is what I think of these debates right now. Let me find it first.
Yeah. Simultaneously to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon and preventing us from going to
What would your red line be that would for military action against Iran?
Look,
All right.
obviously, if there was an attack
This is exactly what I
would
think
have to be a
of
response. But
their
my point
fucking
is,
debate
it's
right
important
now.
for us
Yeah.
to recognize
This is what they sound like.
Trump
Okay.
and his cabinet, Mike Pompeo, John Bolton, and others, creating a situation.
Do you recognize that?
What, the Chipmunks?
It's the Chipmunks singing the ISIS song.
Oh wow.
That's what this Democratic debate reminds me of.
Questioning next with Chuck Todd, Rachel Maddow. Stick around. We'll have a lot more with some very anxious candidates just ahead.
Alrighty.
She has a mansion. That is not an attractive woman.
I'm really just tired of this shit.
I would prefer to watch Hell's Kitchen over watching this. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even watch the fucking Republican debates because it's just going to be just as AIDSy as this one.
Yeah, well, I can't watch Gordon Ramsay because every time I watch a show, I get hungry.
Yeah, well, it was just like watching Anthony Bourdain before he offed himself.
And you know what? Fuck Asia Argento because I blame that bitch for pushing him to suicide.
He was definitely a very unique person.
I loved his show. I really loved No Reservation. I loved No Reservations. I loved Parts Unknown was the only show on CNN that I watched religiously because, I mean, honestly, I love other people's cultures. I love the difference in other people's cultures. And I loved how he did it through their food.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Bourdain definitely had
wait. Trump poll.
His average approval rating at its best, 46%. And when was this? Early February 2017. That was his honeymoon. He had just become president. That
just not to interrupt his pseudo intellectual predictions, but remember they were doing the same shit.
Yeah.
In 2015, and then he won.
Yeah.
they were like, "There's no way he's gonna win," and then they're doing that whole fucking spiel where they're like, "Look, he's only like 38% favorable in most states," and then he ends up fucking winning the overall presidency.
Okay, let me see.
Moral of the story is Democrats are fucking liars and cheats, and they all should be in prison.
Here. Okay, let me see if they're back. Okay, no.
Do you know how many people are listening to your radio show?
So far I got only one person.
And on the Facebook.
No, I'm not streaming on Spreaker. It's just on the Facebook. I'm streaming.
Oh, okay. So we decided not to stream on the radio.
Well, there's no way for me to fucking do it because fucking Spreaker. I don't know, why they got deleted the fuck Flash thing. Because I would be doing both very easily. And I mean, and they don't have a Spreaker studio for Ubuntu, and there are no plans to come out with one because their people are not emailing them demanding it. I was pretty much the only one demanding an Ubuntu option, and I'm not switching to fucking Windows. Like nerds on that shit.
Right.
Because, first of all, I don't feel like getting spied on.
Yeah, I almost don't want to watch these fucking debates because of how much it, they even have to include a picture of Hillary Clinton just to prove a point that she had more favorability than Donald Trump, and Donald Trump still won. But everything they project is lies.
Okay, is this back on? No.
So know what I mean, man?
Yeah, I know. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
And we're back to the Democratic National Debates of 2020. I am your host, Leo Whataburger.
Wow, that's a big turnout. Look at all those empty seats.
Right.
And as we continue the questioning, time to get more members of our team in the mix.
They had to push everybody to the front.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Ugh.
We're going to start by recapping the rules. 20 candidates qualified for this first Democratic debate. We're going to hear from 10 tonight, 10 more tomorrow. The breakdown for each night was selected at random.
So what about the other 18 people?
30 seconds for a follow-up if necessary, and we will be ruthless if necessary.
Yeah, we can do that. By the way, hi, Rachel.
Hi, Chuck.
How you doing? Good. And we've got a lot of ground to cover. We're going to be talking about
Rachel is the perfect example on what happens to a woman when you turn gay. She was such a hot piece of ass when she was straight.
Over the course of this next hour,
Have you seen the picture of her with her high school picture?
I promise everybody.
No.
And to begin with,
She was a hottie.
Senator Warren, I want to start with you. We are
In fact, hold
less
on.
than 50 miles from
Let me see.
Parkland, Florida, where 17 people were killed in a school shooting last year, and where there has been significant activism on gun violence ever since. Many of you are calling for a restoration of an assault weapons ban.
Okay.
But even if implemented, there will still be hundreds of millions of guns in this country. Should there be a role for the federal government?
That was her.
Everybody's mics are on. I think we have a. I heard
And then
that
she
too.
comes
That's
up.
okay.
She was like, "I've always known I was lesbian. I only like dick because it went in me."
I think we heard. Yeah, we have the audience audio. All right. So the question is simply this: We're from. I apologize, you guys didn't get to hear this first part of the question. Obviously, we're not far from Parkland, Florida. Gun activism has become a big part of high school life up there in Broward County. Many of you are calling for tighter gun restrictions. Some of you are calling for the restoration of the assault weapons ban. But even if it's put in place, there's still
Is that shit working? Is it working in London?
The restoration of assault weapons ban. As far as I know, it was never repealed because you need a fucking federal tax stamp to own a.
Did they fuck up?
Yeah, these people have no idea what a fucking assault weapon is, and then they want to talk as if they know.
Like I'm an assault. If you piss me off, I become an assault Rican.
Yeah. Okay. See.
Like how that fucking African dude that put his hands on me at my job found out.
They're having technical issues, which just goes to show that Democrats can't manage shit. Can't even manage their own debates.
Yeah. The master debates.
You know, I'm so waiting to hear what the chick from Hawaii has to say about this supposed assault weapons ban that was repealed, because as far as I don't know anybody that owns an assault weapon. I mean, I could hit you with a hammer, and that can technically be considered as an assault weapon, because I assaulted you with what could be considered a weapon.
Okay, hold on. I think I got a friend request.
A friend request?
I got a friend request. Let's see. We're gonna discover this together.
Oh, did you see it from your phone first?
Yeah. We're gonna.
What is that podcast sharing group?
It's basically okay. Who the fuck is this?
That's one of our guys.
Oh, okay.
That's weaponized opinions.
Oh, okay. Boom. Adding his ass. Oh, hold on. Let me see if we're back on. Nope. Top stories. His ass has been added. My call is ass has been added. Yeah. All right.
Welcome, my friend.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
See. This is what I'm saying. They're all hypothesizing the way that this election is going to turn out, because they're trying to brainwash people. Like, you could tell by his body language, if you just keep the volume off, by his body language, you can tell he's actually doing, he's performing actions that if you take like a certain like course in psychology, it's based on micro expressions.
Yeah.
There's certain micro expressions that he's explaining. They're sales techniques. It's basically when you're in sales, to drive a point home, you're going to move your arms in certain ways and hold your hands in certain ways.
So basically, this is how white guys break dance.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's
literally, this guy's literally just trying to sell us on the fact that Donald Trump should have never been president.
Yeah.
See, he keeps doing the hand motions. He's a total he's a salesperson. That's all he's doing.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, Gary, you mean well, but you are retarded.
He also fucked up by having Bill Weld as his vice presidential pick. I mean, Bill Weld was a shill for the Clintons.
Goodness. I voted for Larry Sharp for New York City governor. He was the libertarian candidate.
Larry Sharp is a smart dude.
Yeah, he really is. I've had him on the show. He's fucking fantastic. I like his approach. He has no problem doing cutting and pasting pretty much. If he sees something that works somewhere else, he has no problem just taking that idea and using it.
Right. Which is the way marketing works. I mean, it's just like if you want to promote your YouTube video, you watch the most highest viewed video and you make it better.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, we're back.
Oh, great.
We're back with the Democrap 2020 debate where you could kiss our ass. We had technical difficulties, and Beto O'Rourke was killed in an explosion. But now with the 9 other candidates.
Parkland, Florida. It's just north of here in Broward County. As you know, it has created a lot of teenage activism on the gun issue. It has inspired a lot of you to come out with more robust plans to deal with guns. including assault weapons ban. But even if you're able to implement that, what do you do about the hundreds of millions of guns already out there? And does the federal government have to play a role in dealing?
I am waiting for somebody to say I'm coming for your weapons.
In this period of time that I've been running for president, I've had more than 100 town halls. I've taken more than 2,000 unfiltered questions. And the single hardest question I've gotten, I got one from a little boy and I got one from a little girl.
Why are you claiming to be an Indian?
When you're president, how are you going to keep us safe?
That's bullshit.
Nobody is asking that, you stupid fuck.
7 children will die today from gun violence, children and teenagers.
Yeah, in Democrat cities.
Cities that are run by Democrats.
Boom.
They'll die in playgrounds. They'll die in people's backyards.
Yeah, in Chicago.
Gun violence is a national.
In Chicago, in New York, and LA. Suck a dick.
New Orleans.
New Orleans, Detroit, where it'll probably go unsolved.
We can do the universal
More than
background
likely.
checks. We can ban the weapons of war, but we can also double down on the research and find out what really works, where it is that we can make the difference.
More guns work.
Margins that will keep our children safe.
Yeah.
We need to treat
More
this like
guns
the
work
virus
because
that's
it
killing
keeps
our children.
evil men honest.
Do you think the federal government needs to go and figure out?
I mean, look at London. London has more. There's a rise in gun crime in fucking London, and they banned all the fucking weapons. How's the fuck that work?
They also ban
Who's
kitchen
had
knives.
them for decades, who's never fired them, who takes safety seriously. That's very different from guns that are sold and turned over quickly. We can't treat this as an across-the-board problem.
Okay, as a gun owner, I can tell you that the only reason why I can speed through a background check is because of my prior service. Because I've served in the U.S. Army twice, I go through a background check pretty quick because I have top security clearance. But when I went to go and buy my first sidearm, so my first pistol that I bought when I came back to the state, I actually had to wait 3 days for a background check to come through to clear me for it because there's a whole different set of laws for handguns versus rifles.
The only one on this panel here that had 7 people shot in their neighborhood just last week. Someone I knew, Shahad Smith, was killed with an assault rifle at the top of my block last year. For millions of Americans,
Illegally
this is
obtained
not a
and
policy
illegally
issue.
distributed by
This is an
Operation
emergency.
Fast and
And for
Furious.
those who have not been directly affected, they're tired of living in a country where their kids go to school to learn about reading, writing, and arithmetic, and how to deal with an active shooter.
Why do
And
we
they're
still use arithmetic when everyone just calls it math?
And I'm tired
Yeah.
of hearing people, all they have to offer is thoughts
He's
and
trying to
prayers.
sound smart.
In my faith, people say faith
The
without
3
works is
R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Arithmetic, it starts with an A.
the
Stop
corporate
it.
gun lobby frame this debate. It is time that we have.
No,
You know
it did
what's
not.
funny? What would be funny is if I ran as a Democratic candidate just because it could get me on one of these panels so I could roast every single fucker here. I think that would be epic.
It would be. Just mentioned there the idea of active shooter drills in schools. The school shootings seem like an almost every day or every week occurrence now. They don't make a complete news cycle anymore, no matter the death toll. As parents are so afraid as their kids go off to school that their kids will be caught up in something like this.
Wait, wasn't one of the
changed
last school shootings done by a trans person in Colorado?
Yes, and the one before that, the attempted one, was by an Antifa member.
Yeah, Rachel, I'm the dad. Of
Honestly,
a 10-year-old
I think
girl,
when it comes to
Karina,
school shootings, that is the one aspect of our society where we don't need diversity.
Right.
I agree. About what could happen at school.
Make school shootings white again,
The
Josh.
answer to your question is no.
I can't-
you don't have to
can't do
accept that. And
I can't
I
implement
believe
it.
that on January 20th, 2021, at 12:01 p.m., we're going to have a Democratic president, a Democratic House, and a Democratic Senate.
Okay, so basically, communist government.
Activists of Parkland, folks from Moms Demand, who have risen up across the United States,
Risen.
have inspired so many people. You know,
They
we may
jismed
not have
up.
seen yet legislative action, but we're getting closer. The House took a vote. In the Senate,
Obama
the question
cadence.
often is if the decision is between 60 votes, a filibuster, or
filibuster, we're going to be
passing
common sense
reform. So I
reform.
believe that we're going to be able to get that done in 2021.
Secretary Castro, thank you.
Rachel, I have something to add to this briefly.
We'll give you 30 seconds for follow-up on that question, on that answer from Secretary Castro. Congressman Ryan.
You're talking about in the schools. These kids are traumatized. I support all the gun reforms here. We need to start dealing with the trauma that our kids have. We need trauma-based care in every school. We need social and emotional learning in every school. 90% of the shooters who do school shootings come from the school they're in, and 73% of them feel shamed, traumatized, or bullied. We need to make sure that these kids feel connected to the school. That means a mental health counselor.
Honestly, I could go with that.
We need to start playing.
Yeah, he actually sounds pragmatic in this situation because if you have mental health-based services at a public school, you're less likely going to have these problems.
And also, by law, they have to report if someone would be a danger to themselves or others.
Right.
Okay. But says, you know what? The Democrats.
Actually, I know that's how it is in New York. I don't know if it's like that everywhere.
And even though I agree with you
on no, people just get shot here in the streets. They don't even have to go to school
Here's how we
for
had
it.
that conversation in Texas. I shared with them what I learned from those students.
Beto O'Rourke lost to Ted Cruz in Texas and still thinks he has a chance to become president.
Her friend Marcel, who survived another shooting.
Is that the same Ted Cruz that called that old lady and it said that trying to wake her up for her doctor's appointment?
Yep, that's the same one.
Same one.
Talks about ending the
You can pay
sales of
yourself,
assault
you
weapons
fuck
into our
bastard.
communities. Those weapons of war were designed to kill people.
You can
as
listen to that
effectively
prank call
and
on the
efficiently as
first
possible.
episode of the Revengers podcast. Where can people listen to the Revengers podcast again?
Well, you can either search Revengers Podcast on YouTube, or you can go to www.youtube.com/channel/the FAFO network. Make sure FAFO is capitalized as well as network. And
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas led the charge here in Florida, and they've been able to change those laws. They're making our democracy work, ensuring that our values and our interests and our priorities are reflected in the laws that we pass.
Thank you, Congressman O'Rourke. Hang on. Let me give 30 seconds. Senator Klobuchar, Iron Range. I'm curious. Gun confiscation, right? If the government is buying back, how do you not have that conversation?
Well, that's not
Wait.
confiscation.
He
but
said.
give them the offer
He
to
said.
buy back their
Yeah.
gun. I'll say this. I look at these proposals and I say.
Correcting him. Gun confiscation is not buying back. Buying back
coming
is
from
buying
a
back.
crowd hunting and fishing
Confiscation is
state.
taking
These
by
proposals
force.
don't do that. When I was a prosecutor, I supported the assault weapon ban. When I was in the Senate, I saw those moms from Sandy Hook come and try to advocate for change, and we all failed. And then now these Parkland kids from Florida, they started literally a national shift. You know why? It's just like with gay marriage. When kids talk to their parents and their grandparents, they say, I don't understand why we can't put these sensible things in place. Say, listen. And if we get bested by a bunch of 17-year-olds, it's the best thing that ever happened. We need to get
Senator Booker, let me go to you on
Have you spoken to 17-year-olds? They're fucking stupid as fuck.
achievement as Senate Majority Leader.
They don't even know who they don't even remember that show, the original Thundercats.
Having served with Republicans on the Judiciary Committee, do you believe they would confirm your court nominees?
I'm going to use 20 of my seconds just to say there's one thing we don't all agree with when it comes to guns, and I think it's common sense, and over 70% of Americans agree with me. If you need a license to drive a car, you should need a license to buy and own a firearm. And not everybody in this field agrees with that, but in states like Connecticut that did that, they saw 40% drops in gun violence and 15% drops in suicides. We need to start having bold agendas on guns. When it comes to the Supreme Court, very clearly, I agree with my friend, Secretary Castro. We are going to get to 50 votes in the Senate. This is a team sport. Whoever is our nominee needs to campaign in places like South Carolina because we can elect Jamie Harrison. They need to campaign in places like Iowa because we can win a Senate seat there. This is about getting us back to having 50 votes in the Senate and more so that we can not only balance the Supreme Court, but start to pass an aggressive agenda that, frankly, isn't so aggressive because most of America agrees with the policy objectives of our party.
Mayor de Blasio, I want to go on this for a follow-up. Mayor de Blasio.
God damn, I'm getting tired of this.
We have to
just
I am
end
too.
this.
I'm actually getting tired of watching it.
Yeah. I can't fucking listen to this, man.
I'm starting. My ears are starting to bleed.
Like, do you want to tap out?
I think I'm gonna have to tap out on this one.
All right, we're tapping out, and we're done.
All right, awesome. Do you think we should, rather than pay attention to this hyperbolic fucking virtue signaling, actually focus on what we're gonna do for Friday?
Well, we're still live, so I don't think we should.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna have Sex Friday then, huh?
No, you still haven't bought me dinner, man. I ain't no cheap bitch.
You're the one that swiped right on Tinder.
Look, I still want to be dated. I want to be romanced.
You do okay. I just want
like
to
I'm tired of this fucking hookup culture, man. You know, no one wants to fucking date anymore. They just want to fucking, that's it. Look, if you need sex that easy, fucking pay for it with a fucking hooker. I am an honorable lady.
Are you?
Yes.
I heard you were a thought. Tyrone told me you were a thought.
Well, that's because Tyrone couldn't get these cheeks because his ass is fucking dusty as fuck.
Well, I mean, that's not what I heard. Okay.
We fucking just tapped out, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done.
I couldn't listen to any more of it, man.
I'm just tired. I'm tired of this bullshit.
I can't understand how, like, I mean, literally just listening to these people talk makes you really just tired of American politics altogether.
Yeah.
Like, don't be surprised if I fucking go do exactly what I did in 2012 after Ron Paul lost the elections.
And
just fucking jump ship and go to another country for a few years just to escape the bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, Ron Paul wasn't even on the ticket here, so I couldn't even vote for him even if I want. Well, even though I wanted to.
Right. I wrote him in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was on this liberal podcast, and I'm not going to mention the name because fuck them. But was
it the same one that tried to ridicule you?
Well, I mean, they all try to ridicule you. It was a.
Well, I mean in a negative way, like one that actually damaged your reputation.
No. Well, yeah, they all try to do that. They tell you the truth, they all try to do that. I mean, it's just no. I mean, but the what they do is like they all do that. They try to filibuster you. They don't really debate your ideas. And they just they ask you a question, they interrupt you, and they try to jump. They try to like guess what you're trying to say, and not let you finish your point, and then laugh.
Like that one liberal kid.
That what?
That one liberal kid that I just schooled in a chat while you guys were live streaming. The fact that he was like, it's funny how people like him like to call people controversial and white supremacists, white nationalists, this stuff, but he's white.
Yeah,
and everybody that echoes those same sentiments are always white.
Yeah. No, but this was a California based fucking like a San Francisco. Like they were really upset because I did a show that I was talking about open relationships, pegging. Is basically an attack on masculinity. Open relationships, pegging and cucking are all an attack on masculinity. And instead of like making a counterpoint, they were just like, "Oh, he's an idiot. He can't talk." I'm like, really? I mean, what makes me an idiot? Oh, you just are. Oh, yes, we all agree. You're an idiot. I'm like, who the fuck are you? And one of the guys just hates my guts for some reason, I guess, because I don't agree with his fucking lifestyle, and they all want to be fucking worshipped. So I ended up having to block him on Facebook because all he kept trying to do was fucking report every post I made. He was trying to get me like fucking banned off of Facebook, making false claims all the time. Like if my freaking thoughts are so controversial, you can't debate them. You can't say how I'm wrong. No, you gotta fucking report me to the man.
Right.
It's like that's really a bitch move. And I mean, this is a guy that uses fake fucking pictures of himself. He doesn't use his real name. He can't, and to me, when you can't put your face out there, you can't put your name out there. You have no confidence in your position. Me, I got my face out there. I got my name out there. You know, it's like I am confident in my position. And, you know, this whole, like, a lot of these liberal fucking podcasts I do, they try to filibuster you. They try to stack the deck and talk over you. You know, it's just pussy way. Pussy juice.
That's their fucking tactic too, though. Yeah. You know, it's rather than having an actual intellectual conversation that requires critical thinking to be able to have a debate and a set, an active atmosphere of civil discourse, you know, where people can agree to disagree, and at the end of the day, you know, they're moving on, right?
Yeah.
Well, the problem with modern day liberals is they don't fucking do that. What they do is when, you know, like when you remotely express something that counters their entire, like, what they believe is their core belief set, all of a sudden, you know, they turn their ears off. It's kind of like my ex-wife when her and I used to argue, right? You know, I used to have to constantly say, shut up, let me speak, because if you keep talking over me, it's just going to piss me off even more. And you're just going to end up hurting yourself in the long run, because if you hear what I'm telling you versus what you want to hear, maybe you'll actually realize that we're not that different in our opinion on a certain situation, right? But because you heard a certain word that triggered you, and now all of a sudden you want to shut your ears off and open your fucking mouth, no, we're not getting anywhere, and you're only just pissing me off and pissing yourself off.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you know, all due respect, she cursed me out when I was like asking for permission to get you on my show.
Yeah, well,
I was
I'm not with her. I'm not with her anymore. So
yeah,
you're saying.
I'm like, she scared me. I thought she was gonna send the Yakuza after me.
Yeah, she scares everybody.
All of a sudden, I will be woken up with a fucking katana to my throat. Like, what the fuck?
More than likely. The
fuck, Josh?
What are you even doing right now?
These fucking Japs are in my house. What the fuck did I even do?
What did I do to you, man? What did I do for you to stick the Japs on me? And I'm like, bro, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Dude, man. Motherfucker took off his fucking gi, and I see all these fucking tattoos. He's like looking at me all fuck like he wants to fucking kick my ass.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that would suck. Like, dude, it's 4 a.m. I need to wake up early. Fuck.
So I gotta be to work, and you sent the Yakuza after me, you motherfucker.
Yo, is that the triad right behind him? How many fucking chinks did you get after me? Oh, these fucking gooks in my apartment, man. I live in a studio. I can't fit all these fucking.
And they're asking me to make them breakfast. What the hell's going on here?
Dude, I can't make miso soup. I don't know how to make no goddamn miso.
I don't know.
Now I gotta Google this shit. I don't. Shoot, I just boil an egg in water. I don't know what else.
I can't figure out what the hell's going on. What's going on?
I mean, I can make a bacon, egg, and cheese, I guess. I mean, shit.
Man, how long have we been doing this live stream?
So far for 2 hours.
Really? Already?
Yeah.
I was wondering why my fucking Mac charger was getting so fucking hot.
Yeah. So, all right, fuck it. Let's end this. Like to thank everyone for listening to the show. Definitely check out the Revengers podcast. It is on YouTube right now. Just go to the fuck around FAFO network.
It's FAFO TV network.
Oh, my bad. See. And listen to the first episode. it's fucking hilarious.
Another thing is, do you want to kind of prep them for our plans for the Saturday morning episode?
No, I want it. Look, we're doing prank calls. We got some funny some funny targets. I'm gonna try to fucking record some fresh prank calls for y'all. Yeah, we're gonna get her done. So stay tuned. Please subscribe. Please tell your friends and family. This has been the Crotch Out Radio Show, and also I think this is also a Revengers podcast. So
I actually have opted out because of how AIDS-y the Democrat debates were.
All right, fuck it. So this has been the Crotch Out Radio Show, and as always, from my house to your house, mahalo.
That's the end of my show. Donk.
Help the Crotch Out Radio Show grow and thrive by doing something you already do. Shop on Amazon. Amazon always has great deals for whatever you are looking for. From survivalists and riot gear to beanie babies. Next time you're going to shop at Amazon, use my link. The prices stay the same, but I get credit for the sale. Just go to tinyurl.com/LouisB and just shop normally, knowing that you're helping support the Crotch Out Radio Show. That's tinyurl.com/LouisB.